as you can see in the title, today is a very exciting day, and not just because we are introducing a new item in the Thrive family, but also we're going to be doing a giveaway today. So, here's how today's gonna work. We are going to do a get ready with me because you guys have had some questions, especially about the Perfect Eye Palette from Thrive, which we are going to be including in the giveaway today. And the other thing that we're going to be talking about is this. This is the newest item in the Thrive repertoire, and it is their first skincare item, and I'm so freaking excited to tell you guys about it. So this is the Overnight Sensation Brightening Sleep Mask. I had the chance to try this for the last 3 weeks really, and it is releasing today on their website, and I've got all kinds of information about it to talk to you guys about today. Whenever I do a giveaway video, I don't like it to just be like, here, it's a giveaway, enter. Like, I would rather give you guys something to watch and hang out with you guys. I'm not gonna just blow a whole day's video just, you know, announcing a giveaway. So, I'm gonna zoom you guys in. We're going to play with a bunch of Thrive products, and we're going to talk about this bad boy. So why did I decide that I wanted to give away these two items? I've never given away this eyeshadow palette, and it's not a new product at all, but you guys really ask a lot about it because the new one came out, what's it called? This guy, the Focus Eyeshadow Palette number 3 came out, and you guys were like, hey, how does it compare to the Perfect Eye Palette? Do I need both? I don't think you need both. In fact, I'll probably end up swatching both of them today and kind of showing you the nuanced differences between the shades, and you can make the choice for yourself. But today we are going to be playing in this very well-loved palette. Got my little primer going. We're gonna go in with some of the Thrive Buildable Blur CC Cream, which you guys know I do love, and I did try the trick in my last video of mixing some of the powder with it. I think that it's gorgeous, but today we're going to be going for a slightly dewier look. We're gonna go in with the Sigma Edge Kabuki to put this on my face, and let me tell you guys a little bit about this mask. So like I said, had the chance to try it over the last few weeks. And you guys might end up seeing, I'm not sure how they're gonna use the content, but they had me kind of vlog my first impressions and kind of check-ins over the course of 2 weeks of using the product. Ooh, it's sparkly. This is what it looks like, if we can get this to focus real quick. So it smells kind of minty and herbal, but also a little bit citrusy. I can already feel it kind of like, I don't know, starting to tingle a little bit. It doesn't have any color to it. It's just a nice sort of dewy finish. It might have a little bit of obviously shimmer on the skin, but I find that to be really pretty and nice. And it feels really good. It just feels like a nice, a little bit heavier weight moisturizer that's got more of a serum consistency to it. It's not creamy, it's more serumy. It feels good to just rub it into my hands too. So one of the first things that I notice here is just that my honkers, like these just really aggressive stress zits, have totally gone down. Like, this isn't swollen anymore. In fact, it feels like it's ready to just dry up and fall off, which is really nice. But everything just looks really calm, and it feels really calm, and I like that it didn't leave my face feeling dry and like tight. It looks refreshed and it feels refreshed. So this is just day one. We're going to use this again 3 days in a row, and then we'll go into kind of a weekly cadence. And I can't tell you guys like how impressed I am with this product because Carissa was really excited about it. She was telling us about it at the retreat in LA back in July. It being their first skincare product, I mean, naturally she was going to be excited about it, but the fact that they chose to do a mask instead of, you know, like a full line of skincare or something like that, it really is one of those like highly concentrated products where she was able to put a lot of her love and care and all the ingredients that she's obsessed with, because if you guys have ever watched her Instagram lives, like, she's so obsessed with her ingredients, it's so funny. She really just like packed this thing full of skincare, and I saw unbelievable results from it. I have been using it on my acne that I've been getting from all this stress and also hormones and stuff, but as you guys know, I'm getting married very soon, I promise. I promise it's gonna happen and then I can stop talking about it. But the culmination of this job, my other job, my wedding, everything like that, it's just, I mean, I'm not complaining, it's just resulted in a lot of acne. And I have managed to really get overnight results that have like caused my acne to like dry up and like just kind of flake off within about 24 hours. And you're supposed to use it kind of the first 3 days every night, and then you can kind of go into like a, you know, a more spread out cadence after that. So that is gorge. We love that. Oh, so pretty. I don't have a concealer from Thrive, so we're gonna go in with my Revolution concealer. I wanna talk to you guys about some of the ingredients that are in this overnight mask. I actually think it's interesting to call it an overnight mask because when you think about either skincare or a mask, they kind of tend to be mutually exclusive. I mean, obviously it's not the first time anybody's ever made an overnight mask, but I do love that it's kind of packed with tons of skincare that I pay a fortune for in Sunday Riley and the, you know, the overnight products that I tend to use, like all of my acids and everything. But it's not presented as like a series of serums that are gonna set you back $300. It's just an all-in-one product. So the first thing that's in it is melatonin, which I have never thought of as like a skincare product. I've always thought of it as something that you know, take internally to kind of help you sleep. It's supposed to apparently neutralize the free radicals in your skin. Free radicals are the kinds of things that like age us. It also has licorice root in it. Licorice root extract. Let me pull up my little one-sheeter here because, you know, she's the expert on all these ingredients. But the licorice root extract diminishes the appearance of skin discoloration for renewed radiant skin. One of the biggest things that I noticed using this, even the first night, was how bright my skin was the next morning. And when you think about brightening, you're like, oh, what does that even mean? You know, does it mean my skin's gonna be glowy or plump or lifted or what? I mean, you know, all those things, yes, they're great. But it actually, for me, made my freckles and stuff lighter. It made my under eye bags not as purple. It made my melasma not as dark, which I found to be, well, probably the best results ever because I feel like that's what ages me the most. I'm so pale that the biggest kind of tell of my age, even though I'm not that old, but I mean what can make me look old is dark spots and discoloration. And so licorice root extract is also in a lot of the Sunday Riley serums that I've tried and things like that. So, you know, you can go and pay like $100 for an overnight oil from Sunday Riley. I'm not sure how much this retails for, but it's not $100. I'll put the price on the screen. Again, this isn't even released yet as of this recording, and so I don't have every single like morsel of information on it. I'm just excited to kind of be able to share it with you guys like the day it comes out. Next, we're going to go in with some powder. Sorry, I just got a text message from my baby. What does he say? Oh yeah, sending me pictures of puppies. All right, so the next thing that we're going in with is the Filtered Effects Soft Focus HD Setting Powder. She loves a title. Alright, so if you've ever, like I said, watched one of Carissa's Instagram lives, she jokes that she can pretty much not get through an Instagram live without talking about hyaluronic acid. Holds 1,000 times its weight in water, that's like her line, and it plumps and hydrates skin for over 24 hours, so that is, it's a time-release hyaluronic acid that's in this. You know, sometimes I will actually just wear this mask during the day if I've got like downtime. It's not unusual to do that, but this being an overnight mask, I do still see results if I just wear it for a couple of hours. It also has this really phenomenal sheen to it, which just kind of makes you feel pretty while you're wearing it. I mean, obviously it rinses off, but you kind of wake up and your skin just has this like mermaid glisten to it. And I think that's a nice touch. And the match is not perfect just because I have a self-tan right now, but I still like the shade Fairlight the best on me, and then I will kind of build the depth back in with bronzer. In fact, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to put on my bronzer, my blush, and my brows and everything, which I'll tell you guys the products that I use, but I use them in so many of my videos, it's not really worth doing it on camera. And then we will go to the biggest thing that you guys have probably been asking about lately is to see more of this palette in action, so we will come back and do that. Okay guys, we are back. I've got my brows on. I used the Audrey pencil from Thrive. I'm going to put some Glossier Boy Brow on them in a minute when we get done. I have the Makeup Geek Heartthrob Blush on my cheeks. I have the Super Glow from Natasha Denona for my highlight, and then I used my Pink Leopard blushing bronzer to give myself a little bit of contour. And I hit it all with the all-nighter spray before we start in on the eyeshadows. So I went ahead and swatched them for you guys so that you guys can look at the differences, which are subtle, between these two palettes. Like I said earlier, this is the Focus Eyeshadow Palette number 3. This is pretty brand new. Came out last month. And this is the Perfect Eye Palette. This has been around for a while. This is in warm neutrals. And so people were asking which one they should do, whether they should get both, and I want to help you guys make that decision. This is the best that I could think of to compare the two. So this is the Warm Neutrals Perfect Eye Palette, and then this is the new one. This one's more of a fall palette, this one's more of kind of an everyday palette, and so you do end up with this really beautiful kind of pumpkin spice color in the Focus eyeshadow palette that you don't get in here. The dark shade, which is called Marina, it sort of bridges the gap here between all three of these, but you don't get that like really, really deep black that you can use as a really great kind of smoky shade, or you can use as an eyeliner, and you also don't get this freaking incredible shade right here that's kind of hard to see because I put it in such an inopportune spot. Winnie, and it is probably one of my favorite kind of champagne shades to use on my eyes. So we are going to be using this palette today. I've already done a video using this palette, and I will link that below. But basically, if I were to generalize these two palettes, the Focus eyeshadow palette is going to just be warmer across the board. It's a very, like I said, fall tone palette, and it does really focus on warmth and depth. And the Perfect Eye palette, even though those are very similar tones and shades, they are going to pull just a little bit cooler across the board, and you do end up with more variation in your deep tones, and you also end up with this beautiful champagne shade. And price difference wise, the Perfect Eye palette is $45 and the Focus palette is $36. So hopefully that is a helpful kind of swatching of those, and we're going to dive right into the Perfect Eye palette. So like I said, this is going to be part of the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be this and the Overnight Sensation. Why? Because this is what I'm loving right now. I wanted to give you guys a chance to win the brand new product, but I really have been into this again lately. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put an eye primer down. Gorgeous, easy. But I'm going to start by dusting Madeline all over the area where we just put the primer. And this is one of my favorite formulas for a kind of pale shade, just because you might have seen it in other videos where I was working with a palette that kind of didn't have neutral shades in it, or like a bright highlight shade, like a matte highlight. I will always go back to this palette. I call this my supplement palette, because if you end up with a palette that's really, really beautiful but doesn't have kind of the deeps and the brights that you need, this is the kind of palette that can always back you out of a situation. And I think that this pale white shade right here is easy to overlook, but you end up with this amazing texture that like blurs all of the possible creases and everything in the primer, and it goes on really, really smoothly. So today I'm going to be doing a warm smoky eye. I'm going to start with this shade right here, Frida, all over my lid with kind of a smaller brush. We do still want to maintain control here, even though we are going all over the lid. So I'm gonna go in with this Makeup Geek Defined Crease Brush. And I know it says crease brush, but I'm going to use it to just gently dust this all over the lid, because I don't want to use a flat brush. A flat brush is going to give me too much color impact, and I want just a wash here. These are stickier shades. When you use these colors, you'll notice that they don't really move around a ton. Once you put them down, you kind of have to pick more product up to blur them. They're not going to just keep blending and blending and blending for days the way that like the Gemini palette did, which again, is just something to be aware of. So I'm going to take a bigger fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into that shade again and just kind of bring it up into the crease in a more diffused way. And that white, I love that it comes in such a large pan, because you can use it as kind of a mixing medium to really get that color to blow out without having to work too hard at it. So you can see it's just kind of diffused. So next I'm going to use my big fluffy brush here, and I'm going to dip into Winnie, which I already forgot the name of, sorry. And I'm going to use this satin texture that has some kind of shimmer to it, and I'm actually going to use that to blend up into our kind of local color area right here. I talk about this on my channel a lot. A lot of people are very anti using a shimmer shade on a fluffy brush anywhere near the crease, but I find that if it's not too glittery, it can also make for a really great blending texture, as you can see. So You're not necessarily getting all of the shimmer impact of that shade, but you're getting this really gorgeous blendability and a lot more color payoff. And we'll also use this to highlight the center of the lid, and so you guys will get to see kind of how versatile this shade is, where it can work as a blending shade, but it can also work as like a really great foiled shade. So the way that we talk about shadows on my channel a lot is sort of, they're on certain spectrums. So one of the spectrums is kind of blendability, which usually results in very dusty shadows, versus stickiness, which is going to result in a higher impact color, but it's going to take a little bit more work to blend. And these are going to be the kinds of shades, they're kind of like Natasha Denona in the sense that once you lay them down, it's like painting with them, and they stay exactly where you put them, but that does mean that they require just a little bit more work to blend. So we've only, besides our kind of base layer, we've only put 2 shades on my eyes, and I could stop here. I could just put on some mascara, some eyeliner, and call it a day. We're gonna kind of keep working just because we've built so much drama up here. I also want to go underneath the lash line, but I also want to build a little bit more depth in the crease right here and use a few more of these colors. I am going to go in with just this next shade right here, which is called Helen. And if you guys are new to the brand, she does name all of her shades after women who have had an impact in her life. I actually got to meet some of the namesakes of these products when I went on the giving event trip with them. I'm just building the crease here with that shade, just trying to go until I'm happy with the amount of depth. And again, if you're new to the brand, all of the products that Carissa puts out are vegan and cruelty-free, so hits the marks there. So I would say we have succeeded in building depth. Now let's pull some light out of the shadow here. The first thing that I want to do is take a big fluffy brush, the one that we kind of started with, and I'm just going to kind of roll that in that pale shade and use that to blend and diffuse kind of out into the rest of my eye so that we end up with a really nice blended line there. And I'm, again, just using that white as kind of a mixing medium. What ends up happening is that I don't have that much product on my brush, and then I'm really just blending what's already there, like that. So I'm going to take the little flat brush here. This is the eyeliner smudge brush from Thrive, and I'm going to dip it back into our palest shade in the palette, and I'm going to highlight my brow bone with it, pulling that light out of the shadows. And if you guys are new to my channel, all of those noises are earth movers. They are going to be working behind my house, clearing land and building houses for God knows how long. So when I film during the week like I am today, that is the noise. That is the kind of background ambiance that we have to deal with. I'm very sorry. So I love that. I think that's so pretty. And I'm going to take a little bit more of our shimmery shade and kind of blend that even more. I'm gonna go back in with my Real Techniques brush. For those of you guys who ask all the time, this is the Real Techniques 203. I need to do a better job of saying what this brush is because I use it so often. And I'm blending that shimmery shade right back up into our brow highlight color, like so. And I'm focusing that a little bit on my inner tear duct area right here, but not quite, you know, touching the tear duct, but just kind of hitting that little divot right there. Now let's go right on the lid with that same shade. Like I said, this is such a versatile color. Like, we used it to blend everything up to the brow bone, but it also works as a really pretty kind of wash of foil. And I'll bring that even, like, looking straight ahead, just a little bit above the natural center of my lid so that you can still see it when I open my eye. Learned that from Nessa. That's actually where I met Vanessa for the first time. Actually, the only time. If you guys haven't watched her channel, she does these really amazing, really fast, like very efficient tutorials on different eyeshadow palettes, and she will do multiple tutorials for one eyeshadow palette, which is honestly something I should probably take a page from her book on, but they're very effective. She does this thing called, I think it's called Sunshine Academy, where she actually teaches you the basics of makeup, which I could also probably use. But I met her. She was one of the makeup artists that they had on hand at the event in LA, and she was like the sweetest. And she honestly intimidated the crap out of me when I first met her, and so like I didn't talk to her for like the first half of the time that I was there because she's just like really stunning in person. And when I finally met her, I was like, oh my god, she's so nice. So anyway, I've learned a lot from watching her tutorials. And you know, there are a lot of tiny brushes. You know, you end up with a lot of like the MAC ones or this one from Sigma, these kind of flat angled brushes that are really good for drawing on eyeliner or for using for your eyebrows if that's how you want to go. But I find that for underneath the lash line, this is the ideal shape. This is this really interesting little stubby brush. I use it for everything, pretty much details everywhere on my eyes, but this is my ride or die for underneath my lash line from Thrive. So I'm going to go in with the darkest shade that we have worked with on my eyes today, not the darkest shade in the palette. And I'm going to go just underneath the outer corner here with that. And I'm gonna kind of just blend to the middle and stop. Then I'm going to take that same brush, just kind of wipe it off a little bit, go in with our shimmery shade here, our champagne, and go on the inner half. And really lay that down. And then I'm going to take my teeny tiny little brush here again from Makeup Geek. I'm going to dip it very lightly in that orange shade that we used all over the lid, and I'm going to go underneath the lash line with it and just kind of blend right below. Kind of smoke it out. Take some of our white shade, kind of blend from there, just get everything nice and diffused. And what we end up with is just a really moody, beautiful, warm, smoky eye that I used, 4 shades to achieve. 4 shades in the entire palette. So we focused on these 2 right here, and then these 2 right here. We did not really dip into the really dark ones. So the possibilities are really endless here. I think that if you are just looking for a really good everyday palette that you can also get a lot of drama out of, this one's really good. If you are looking for something that hits all the similar marks, but you don't really need the full spectrum of everything, and you aren't really going to miss the shimmer shade, then the new one here, the Focus Eye Palette number 3, is probably going to be right up your alley. So again, I hope that that kind of helps distinguish the two. I'm going to put some liner and some mascara and stuff on, and I'll be right back and we will finish talking about the mask and the giveaway. Who's sick of a nude lip? Not me! I think with this much eye, I love putting on a nude lip with it, especially this kind of like comfort matte formula. So what else is on my face right now? I have my Thrive mascara, the Liquid Lash Extension mascara, which off camera you will be happy to know I smacked myself in the eye with because my depth perception sucks, and I got this huge blotch on my eye and just had to wait for it to dry and then flake it off with my nail. So if there's any weird smudging over there, that's why. Anyway, I also have the eyeliner. When I get done using something, I feel like I just chuck it across the room. Like, what do I do with things? Infinity Waterproof Eyeliner, which I should know the name of by now, and I used it in black and just kind of smudged that right on the lash line, kind of a smudgy wing, a little bit of a wing. And I then used some of the Boy Brow mousse on my eyeballs. This is my favorite kind of liner that I can't really talk about because it hasn't come out yet. But something similar is the L'Oreal Toffee to Be. And then this is the Stephanie lipstick that I will forever be obsessed with. And that's kind of the look, you guys. So I have not talked about all of the active ingredients yet in this mask, so let's go ahead and finish up there. So the other thing that's in this is glycolic acid and lactic acid. Those are such huge buzzwords in skincare. Basically, one of the things that I swear by and that I've seen the best results from with my skin, with my acne, with anti-aging, with discoloration, are chemical exfoliants over time instead of using physical exfoliants. And so acids used at night, that's probably why this is a night mask. You want to use them at night because if you use them during the day, they're going to make your skin more vulnerable to the sun. I always say stay hydrated, wear SPF. Don't screw around with that kind of stuff. Don't put a bunch of like glycolic acid or vitamin C or something all over your face and then just go sit in the sun. Like, that's a terrible idea. Those ingredients provide gentle exfoliation while hydrating and brightening the skin. Basically what I just said. And finally, there is aloe leaf extract to soothe skin and provide anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant protection. You guys, all of that is a lot of skincare buzzwords. We throw these kinds of words around all the time. Does this mask work? Yes. The results are incredible. I really notice overnight, that's why it's called an overnight sensation, I notice results overnight. Like the next morning, my skin looks amazing. And then, like I said, you know, I'll wear my makeup over the course of the day, and when I come home, I'll take my makeup off and everything has healed underneath. And I find that to be just a really good peace of mind, knowing that there's a product like that out there that isn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. Like I said, I don't know how much this retails for, but I doubt it's the price of a Sunday Riley serum. So, let's talk about the giveaway. The giveaway, like I said, it's just going to consist of the Perfect Eye Palette, which anybody could find something to love about, and the new Thrive Overnight Sensation Brightening Sleep Mask. I'm going to put a Gleam link down below. I use gleam.io to do all of my giveaways because it is completely random. I don't do the post to your own social media thing or leave a comment down below, random number generator or anything like that. I give you guys equal opportunity to win, whether you are a new subscriber or whether you are OG on my channel for the last 4 years. I just like to use these kinds of opportunities to thank you guys for being part of my channel, part of this growing family, and I really am excited to share these products with you. So also, if you don't know, I am an affiliate with Thrive, and so like they didn't pay me to make this video, but I do have a discount code down below for 15% off of your order from Thrive, even if you're not a new customer. Doesn't matter, you can still get 15% off of your order, no matter what you decide to order, with the code KAKIE, my name, K-A-C-K-I-E, at checkout. So I hope that you guys are excited about that. I hope you guys are excited about the giveaway. I hope you guys are excited about this mask because it's amazing. I am going to be including this in everyone's stocking this year. I think that no matter your age, young or old, you could find something to love about this. It's going to soothe your acne, it's going to provide anti-aging, brightening benefits, and it is just such an all-in-one product. If you do end up trying this mask, let me know what you think. Tag me in any photos or anything like that. Thrive, like the community, has actually started doing like a Thrive Thursday on Instagram. I might start participating in that if I can remember what day it is. Maybe after I get married, I'll start being able to understand what day it is on a regular basis again. Everything's a whirlwind right now. Also, my fiance is bringing home a new puppy. Like, just, it's non-stop. It's all good, but it's non-stop. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today and for hanging out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, guys, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would absolutely love it if you did. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.